Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and I'm so excited to be here as part of the Ellen Hutson September 2018 release. And I'm focusing today on a set called Mountain Holiday, and I am actually going to make 3 cards for you today. 3 fairly clean and simple cards, actually. This set has lots of different images in it, and I've stamped them out on some Neenah 80-pound Solar Crest white. Oh, I never get it right. Some Neenah 80-pound white cardstock, and I'm still getting used to colouring with my Copics on this cardstock. It is different to the one that I used to use, and they do colour really well. I just find that I have to be a little bit more careful with the ink bleeding if I've added too much of the alcohol ink to the cardstock. So, and especially with colours like the hot pinks here, you know, because it's a red base colour, they do have a tendency to bleed a bit more. So I'm going to list all the colours that I used today on my blog, just some really simple colouring and some shading. I did come in with the toner marker and added a little bit of shading. I've got the coordinating dies for this set, which does make crafting very easy, especially with things like, you know, potentially this is a really good set for Christmas. Has lots of different cool Christmas sentiments in it, and we know that we need to make lots of Christmas cards, so having the dies, especially on Christmas sets, can be really convenient. So I'm just run all the images through my Gemini Junior, which I'm loving. And I did flip my cardstock over to the magnet plate, but that's purely because the low-tack tape I was using is losing its low-tack. So I'm going to be using the Winterscapes set throughout all 3 cards as well, and there's lots of really fun backgrounds here. And I'm going to be making an interactive card, well, a penny slider card. So I've die cut one of the swing and slide dies directly on a panel that is 110-pound Neenah white cardstock, and I just wanted to stamp out some fun bright polka dots, and I've chosen some hot pink and some bright blue inks from Catherine Pooler. The sentiment is from the Mountain Holiday set, and I am using my Misty so that I can line it up right, and using some Onyx Black ink, which usually stamps really well anyway. It's a nice fast drying pigment ink. Now I know it's a penny slider, but we don't have pennies. Our smallest denomination and our smallest coin in Australia is a 5-cent piece, which has an echidna on the back. Can you see? You probably can't see, but it's cute. And I've just added a piece of white cardstock because I don't want to be able to see this, and the little girl skier is the one that's going to be sliding, and she's not big enough to hide the whole penny or the 5-cent piece, so I just covered the coin with the cardstock and a large glue dot. On the back of the card I've added some tape, some fun foam, and I'm just making sure that my channel is wide enough and there's no adhesive near where I want the penny slider to roll. So I did test that out. And I've got this new to me product. It's MFTs, they're replenishments they're called, and that's what I'm going to use to hold my girl on place on the slider. But before I do that, I have a powder bag which I'm just adding over the whole top of the panel, adding some Quickie Glue pen glue dots and some Prismacolor glitter. So I really like this effect, that I added more glitter at the top and less, it's like snow falling down. I thought that'd be really pretty on this card. I do tap it off, but I do wait for it to dry as well, and then I can use a light brush to brush away the extra glitter. So I have just temporarily sat my channel, like the penny, in place and added some glue just to stick the replenishment down because it's plastic. It takes a while to dry. Alright, my second card, while that's drying, I'm stamping out another of the Winterscapes, and they're kind of almost like background pieces or highlight pieces that you can use on so many different designs. It's not just Christmas or, even though it's called Winterscapes. You could use it for anything, just depends what you stamp it in. And I've stamped out like the little blue panel there, and I wanted to make this where my little ski lift is going to sit, so I've got another of the swing and slide dies just to give me a guide where I want to draw my black line with my Copic marker. I've used a sentiment from the set, popped up a piece of white cardstock with some fun foam, and then popped up my little blue Winterscapes. I did also add some Prismaglitter to this panel as well. I didn't show you that. I think you saw it before, so I did exactly the same thing. I just waited for the ink to dry well. And then I popped up my little ski lift. I like these two colours together. They're really pretty. I have another panel. It's cut smaller than my card front. This is my third card, and I've stamped a sentiment just using my Misty and some black ink again, and these are the mountains that I die cut at the beginning. I want to add 3 mountains, and I've also cut a little angled piece of white cardstock here just to create a mountain for my fellow to be skiing down. Added some adhesive and just temporarily holding that other piece in place while I stick my mountains where they want to be on that panel. I did forget to stamp this. This is another a dotty kind of effect that's from the winter. I'm thinking, no, I think it's actually from the Mountain Holiday set. And then I've popped up my ski slope on some fun foam, and this I decided to kind of stamp out a bold black border. This is from the Winterscapes set, and this is where the Mystic comes in really handy because you can re-stamp. The trick is, because I've used one of those creative corners to make sure that I don't move my cardstock. So this is actually my side fold landscape card that I'm actually stamping on, and that's why it was a bit more difficult to stamp that out. And then I've just popped up the panel on top and my little fellow. Now that the other card has had time to dry, I'm coming back to my penny slider now, and I've added some Be Creative tape to the back, and then just making sure that my little slidey penny thing is in place while I adhere this to the front of my top fold card. And then I can just use my liquid adhesive to adhere my girl. So you can see what I mean here with the fact that she's just too small to hide the whole penny, so that's why I covered it with the cardstock. And then I can just set that aside to dry. And look at her go. The penny gives it weight. So, oh, see, too quick. Let me do that in slow motion so you can catch it again. You do need to check out this release from Ellen Hutson. It is incredible. I'll have links at my blog, so head there and that'll be in the description below. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.